Of all the so-called barbarians the Romans fought over the centuries, none impacted European history like the Germanic peoples. They terrorized the empire for centuries, conquering its western half in 476 AD, ending antiquity and ushering in the Middle Ages. By the late Iron Age, Germanic tribes expanded from the Rhine to the Vistula rivers. They were never a single nation, but a spectrum of tribes with shifting alliances and conflicts. Germanic warrior culture was fierce. Kingship was by bloodline, but the real power lay with war leaders who had to deliver victories. Their armies were predominantly infantry, lacking cavalry. Germanic peoples had a complex relationship with Rome. Initial clashes began in the late 2nd century BC, with the Cimbrian War highlighting their ferocity. By 58 BC, Julius Caesar clashed with Germanic king Ariovistus, leading to Roman dominance in Gaul. Under Emperor Augustus, Rome established a frontier along the Rhine and Danube. In early medieval Bavaria, around 500 CE, archaeologists discovered 41 skeletons. Southern Germany at this time was occupied by the Alemanni, also known as the Suebi. Some Suebi had crossed the Rhine in 409 and established a kingdom in northwest Iberia, which lasted from 409 to 585. Additionally, one Alemannic individual, R31, buried in the mausoleum of Augustus in Rome, was tested by Antonio et al. 2019 and included in the study. 3 graves from Straubing in Bavaria were culturally Ostrogothic and genetically distinct, showing closer ties to modern Austria, Hungary, and Croatia. These Ostrogothic samples contained over 5% Mongoloid DNA, Siberian, East Asian, Southeast Asian, likely from intermixing with the Huns. By comparing the Lombard, Suebi, Alemannic, Ostrogothic, and Anglo-Saxon admixtures with the modern populations, we can gauge the genetic similarities between these ancient Germanic tribes and modern Europeans. The Lombards are nearly identical to Northwest Germans, followed closely by the Dutch. The Suebi and Anglo-Saxons showed genetic affinities with Scandinavians and Northwest Germans. Scholars have extensively observed that the genetic composition of contemporary Germanic speakers is characterized by a blend of various Y-DNA haplogroups. Among these, prominent haplogroups include I1, associated with Viking and Scandinavian heritage, R1A1A, which is often linked to Slavic populations, and R1b P312 and R1b U106, both of which have Celtic associations. It's important to note, however, that these genetic markers predate the emergence of the Germanic languages themselves and are not exclusive to Germanic-speaking populations. Instead, they are distributed across a broader linguistic and geographical spectrum, indicating complex historical migrations and interconnections among different ethnic groups over millennia.